Alright. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Rogue Legacy 2 speedruns, not... Yeah, speedruns. Alright. Just figuring stuff out, get myself set up. So last time we did 2 runs, and then we... Yep. So what's been happening recently is we've been doing 2 runs, and then we just don't have the time for the 3rd. There's something else happening, which by all means, those things that were happening instead were both pretty good. Just... I could definitely see 2 runs, then we just do some new game plus X. Like, I think that is actually a perfectly fine and fun schedule to have. Oof. Oh my gosh. There we are. Cool. Here. I mean, I'm already this far, I might as well grab it. No. Return to main menu because it's faster. Not happy to see. Not happy to see us having to return to main menu this early on in the run. So I can't dash into those, which means if I shield bash, I'll just get knocked back, and by the time I walk in, the shield bash iframes are gone, or the projectile's already gone. So either way, not advantageous for me. Oop, that 100 gold I think is worth stopping for. That was actually a really good crit. So I didn't have to attack an additional time on an enemy that's just like in an annoying position. Alright, so we found the top, we found the bottom, and they're both not very far from each other. That's, yep, leather trinket, ooh. That means I can actually possibly get, full setup without needing to increase equip weight. Which could be good. Oh! By interacting in some way, the invincibility frames fell off. So by attacking, I lost my invincibility frames. I did not realize that. Because I'm like, I definitely had longer invincibility. Man, what's with all these dead ends? Such a weird routing today. These are just regular boxing gloves. Alright. I'm not interested in boxing gloves without KO. Without the KO punch to actually make them do their work. So... Such a big and drawn-out castle, it looks like. Have we found anything of significance? I mean, we found the Stygian study. I think that's it for things of significance. Got you in another tab so I can work while I lurk. Alright, I appreciate it, man. Ooh. Ooh. But yeah, by the way, thanks for the events. Like, it was actually a lot of fun completing those, so glad to have those little challenges. So I do appreciate that. Just wanted to make sure you knew. Alright. There it is. The last 2 rooms I checked. The last 2 rooms, guys. Glad you enjoyed it. Try to get a decent variety. Yep, you got decent enough. It's kind of funny because the Ranger was the one that I was the most like, oh, this is gonna suck. And then I think it's the one I did the best at of the. I mean, I have no idea how other people did, but like at least when it comes to time, I feel like I did pretty well. But time isn't really what that is counted there, I guess. Not, it's points. Oof. It's also kind of funny because so many of them are scars, and as a speedrunner, I don't do scars very often. Turned out my speedrunning wasn't as much of an advantage as I thought. I'm amazed you almost got sub-minute with your layout. Dude, I am so impressed myself. Like, it was hilarious that that did so well. Alright. Whew. Go. But anyways, I hope you're carrying America for us, man. Because I was doing that for fun, not for competition. And it showed. Alright. 850 gold is very good for Lamech. Going for bronze in my... oh. Oof. Well, that's okay. America, I think, wins in enough other things that we can handle not managing the Rogue Legacy 2. I wish there was enough people for us to do, like, some sort of baton pass style challenge, but that would have been actually kind of funny, where it's like one person passes, like one person does one section of the run, then another person does another, like something like that. Mindful's Lamech percent is amazing. He did tell me it was really good. I don't know what he did in it, but he just told me that I got something I would appreciate. I'm assuming his Lamech percent is, like, my immediate guess is that he actually has a full-on video where he beats the entire game except for Lamech and then goes back and does Lamech. Otherwise, the only other thing I could think of is just, like, handicapping him in some hilarious way, but I can't think of the handicap right now. Right, the book was right next to it. I won't spoil it, but it is not what I expected. Alright. Oh my gosh, now I'm waiting for him, like, he finds Lamech, and it turns out it's Lamech Prime, because he actually put him, he's actually in New Game Plus 1, or he went back to New Game Plus 0, but with the Lamech burden, needlessly. But yeah, don't spoil it, I will see it on August 8th. Alright. Oh, I thought I was a little low. I was like, great, I just lost some time, but I actually made it. Oof. I just realized I got enough gold on the way to Lamech because I had to explore the entire area that if I die right here somehow, I actually still have enough money for Architect, which is fantastic. That was a nice little stone. Which it was 2 attacks later. The Wisp is much worse than the Slime. Wisdom is way better. Agreed, but I want to see what other people think. I just want to see what other people think, man. Because, Target Face, you and I have had similar experiences. I think we both have reasons to desire Wisdom over Intelligence, but I want to see what the rest of my chat believes. Because, like, I feel like it could spawn a good discussion, but we do need someone who has the other side before, like, to have a solid discussion. Or at least I feel like it would help. Oop. Oh. Ah. Darn chasers. I mean, it's part of the run at this point, so I might as well get good at avoiding chasers. Alright. Who's ready to give their wrong opinion? Intelligence will give you the ability to mess up the world. Wisdom will give you the capability to see what you're really doing. That's a good one. Yeah, I think it's a cool thing to talk about. It's just, yeah. So I want to try these every once in a while. I'm thinking, like, maybe Fridays are the good days to do it. I do want to set up, like, at least one day a week. Just have a day where the question of the day is built different, is the way I would say it. Just something that's, like, more deep discussion oriented than a theme of, like, just, like, what's your favorite color sort of stuff. I shouldn't offend. What's your favorite color is not a bad question, especially if you have a reasoning behind it. Just, I want, like, deep questions. Oh my gosh. Oof. Green. Green. Man, that's deep. That's deep. That hits different, man. Looks like everyone's favorite color is green, because I'm on that boat too. Question of the day. Green. This is a very dangerous entry, but we already have the money to get ourselves cartographer, so I'm not too worried about it. Or architect, not cartographer. Man, if you could buy cartographer, that would just change this run, like, in a huge way. Come on, keep backing up. Yes! Always glad when they can work together, and therefore I can hit them both at the same time. Just put myself in a bad position because of that, but the freeze frame actually let me recover. So would you look at that? As I've had time with the freeze frames, it seems like the freeze frames actually help me more often than they harm me. Definitely wish I could shut them off just for time frame stuff, but like, it's a few seconds, but it's a few seconds and the difference is notably negligible over the long term. But, like, yeah. Definitely helped me more than it's harmed me, but when it harms, it feels bad. Alright. Nearly 4,000 gold. So close to 4,000 gold. Also, I'm pretty sure the only equipment I have is leather trinket, which is not good. We need more equipment. So equipment does actually end up in the long run being worth more in points, in like how much it recovers things and stuff, than actual levels. How much of a difference it makes. There we are. That's the phrase. How much of a difference it makes. Wow. Whew. Ooh, warg. You scary. Thank goodness I have shield. I saw the jump coming, and I have shield. Alright. There we are. One of the lilies. And the other lily's pretty close, so if I failed that, I would just grab both later. Like now. Awesome. Now all we need is... Yep, all we need from here is to find the maw. That's good. That's good. Alright, sorry, I'm just like singing a song that's got stuck in my head. So I used to listen to Imagine Dragons, and then I learned that since I stopped like listening to them very often, they've since released a new album called Origins, so I've just been listening to that song or some songs in that album for a bit right now, seeing out which ones are good, which ones aren't good enough. There we are. Ooh. But yeah, there's a few bands that, like, there were bands that I listened to, like, 2 years ago that are still good, and I'm just, like, now realizing that they're still releasing new albums, which is actually a new theme for me. I used to listen to my dad's old stuff, so those guys aren't releasing as many albums nowadays. So, like, Rise Against, Imagine Dragons, recently found, like, Ex-Ambassadors as a pretty fun one, but I don't have too many songs from them. Classic Crime was one I wished, like, I was really hopeful that they released a new one, because it's just, like, they're very close to what I want, but there's always just one theme missing, I feel, and I don't know what that is, so it's just like, if you can release a new album and show me what I'm missing. Ooh, thank you for shifting to your left slightly. Alright, we already have 2 lilies. We just need to find them all. She's not here, but... Alright, well there's that path down. Yes, Warg. Your inability to dash will cost you heavily. There it is. Alright. I'm not going to go into Nama's hideout. I think the 155 resolve is enough. And I'm just grabbing these chests and dropping. Sticky and Study. Here, this is what I'm here for. Ooh. Early gone heads. I'm just going to attack whichever one's in front of me, not try to focus fire. Because, like, I want to kill one at a time, but they have a habit of switching positions, and I have a habit of not wanting to be in between them. Alright, well, messed up that block slightly, but got close enough to a good block. There we go. Man, some of my timings for those fireballs are actually being quite precise, and it's awesome. At the very least, it feels good. even if it doesn't matter that much. Awesome. So we lost 50 health, which is pretty nice, because usually we lose 100, but at 50, we still survive a hit. There we go. So that's Gauntlet's gone. So now we have to go find the Void and Irad. Or Enoch. Wow. If I found Irad, that would be great, but I have a feeling they're not going to show up around here. Ah, so close. Just do that. Dead ends. All of you. Ooh. I was like, ooh, silver chest, and then I realized, no, the silver chest is the enemy. Ooh, awesome. Nope. And yes, I am actually saving the apple for later. Oh my gosh, that's quite the dead end there. Quite a big room to be a dead end. Great. Well, I need to find the heirloom ASAP, because health is becoming a real factor here. Be careful, there's gonna be someone down here. Knew it. Oh well. Gosh. The fact is that with all that exploring, the only save point I found was the only safe point I found was all the way to the left. Ugh. Alright. We have frost, so we want to be strength-based. Oh, we got fungal spread. Either way, I'd rather be strength. If I can't decide between strength and intelligence, it's safer to go strength. Hey, how's it going, Lambo Droid? Glad to have you here. Yep, I only have the leather helm and the leather brace. Or the leather trinket. Alright, so any leather equipment gives me unity. Oh, come on. Alright, preferential treatment active. Alright. So I am one strength off because of a little mispurchase, but oh well. Hopefully 5 strength for the dash attack is enough. But yeah, all that area we explored, we have to go back through all of it because our only teleports are near the entrance. We couldn't find Murmur. We couldn't find Enoch. I'm going to check down here for heirloom. Didn't even realize this was a room still for me. Found Murmur. Found heirloom. Alright, I'm going to go find Enoch, and then I'm going to go use that. That way I can actually take... Gosh, that is rough. I mean, I'm glad we got it. It's just... Look at all that we did. Wait. Alright. So this room isn't hard, it just legitimately takes a while to get through, which makes it bad for speedruns. So in all other ways, that's a good room to run into. Because it helps you go to the section of the area that you want. Like if you want to be at the top or the bottom, you can easily maneuver through that. But I'm wondering, do I want to actually go face Nama? I have the opportunity of going to a full health Nama fight. That's 3 hits I get for free. Like, yeah, I think I take it. It's not the best Nama fight, but it's one at full health with a failure having having little consequences. And like, as long as I don't flat out die here, no matter how many hits I take, doesn't actually change my math. Those 2 hits, though, were very not good. Especially since we're still at the first half of the phase of the fight. Question of the day, Wisdom 100%. Alright. So far, everyone's been Wisdom-based. Yeah, I think it's an interesting question, but I think the answer around people here is pretty similar. I'm really interested to see the person who says intelligence. I want to see their... Like, it's just that I've had this similar experiences, and it's hard to come up with a different theme than what you've experienced, you know? So I kind of want to hear the person with intelligence. Here. As I said, all this damage now is gone. Alright. I still remember that one run where I needed to make sure, don't you dare drop the, item. Like, so in case you're wondering, bosses used to have a theme where they can drop money sometimes. And, with that, what happened is money used to not hover to you. So, like, there was a whole issue, like, during Far Shores, where if Nama dropped money and you had no health left, if it falls onto the spikes, you just lose. Like, you still beat Nama, but you... the dying from running into the spikes prevents you from getting the victory screen. Which, by the way, I just realized, we haven't had a victory screen since Far Shores left. That is the one thing I've definitely been disappointed to see. I think the problem solving when trying to compare with... I think of problem solving when trying to compare wisdom and intelligence. Yeah. So here is one thing. I'm not saying, like, if you could have more wisdom where you are now, or more intelligence where you are now. Like, I'm not... Like, I think one of the big questions is, if it's all wisdom or all intelligence, which is preferable, yes, you want to have some... You want to be wise to some degree. Definitely agree with there. It's the question of, once you have that base level, which is better in higher volumes, is basically the question. Because I think we can all agree that between the two, wisdom is the most necessary. But once you get the necessities, is wisdom still 100% over intelligence? I think that's a good question to have. Alright. And if I could do this without getting hit, then we get a easy Enoch. We're probably going to get an easy Enoch, followed by Book, and then we go up to Irad. Gosh, if we can use the Book to protect ourselves from Irad. Ooh. Alright. Misplaced dash. That's okay. Ooh. Should the preference not depend on the class you pick? I'm talking about in real life. Which is better, wisdom or intelligence? So then, yeah, Mindful Line, what class are you? Yeah, in D&D, it's very much the preference is on class, with the general base being leaning towards wisdom because of wisdom saving throws. But yeah. Alright. Gosh, that's always further to the left than I expect it to be. Oof. Anyways, how's it going, Mindful Line? I heard T-Lore loved your Lamech percent video. Didn't tell me what it was, but just told me that they liked your Lamech percent video. Honestly, I can't tell the difference because I'm not native English. Fair enough. Fair enough. The way I would explain it is that that intelligence is learned knowledge, where wisdom is intuitive knowledge. That's not the best way of describing it, but I think it's the closest I can get right now. Oh, the damage was a little higher than expected. I'm going to one-shot here if I get hit again. Hit his face slightly. Barbarian? Emotional dysregularity. Emotional dysregularity is pretty good, but we have a barbarian, and emotional dysregularity definitely wasn't what it used to be. I'm at the docks. Oof. But yeah, so like if you look at the stats in Dungeons & Dragons, intelligence leans into Arcana, which you could learn at a school. It leans into religion, nature, history, things you can learn at schools. I will state investigation is a little weird being intelligence, and medicine is really weird being wisdom, but it's really, that's like intuit knowledge versus learned knowledge is really my big differences in my... Oh no. I don't like you in the air. Alright, maybe I do like you in the air. I can dodge these pretty easily. Oh. I can dodge these pretty easily, I say, while I get hit by them. Because I didn't dodge them. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have to deal with those. Of course, the radius of shout has been reduced, so apparently still not good enough. There we are. Can't decide if I want to play ranked Heroes of the Storm right now. Oh man, I'm glad to hear Heroes of the Storm is still doing well, though. Like, Heroes of the Storm was my first MOBA, my first, like, League of Legends style game, because it seemed much more approachable than the others. And, you know, I wasn't into those sort of games yet. And then, like, I got my dad to play it with me because he used to play, like, Diablo and stuff, so playing as Diablo themselves, or, like, the Archangel was, like, a great tank for my dad. Whatever its name was. Ah. Mess that up. Oh well. There we are. Well, sure, we could call it still around. Fair enough. Fair enough. About other games, I just finished my MTGA Draft at 7-2 while already sitting at 3-2. I thought the deck was bad, but managed to pull through. I love when that... So, I love when that happens. Not the 3-2 part. The 3-2, I'm just like, okay, life. This is what the game is. What am I doing? I have book. Let's grab book first. So glad to hear you're doing well in Magic, man. Quick Draft, though. Yeah, Quick Draft is a great way to, like, get resources while you're getting good, and then once you're really good, Premier Draft is where you go. Because, like, if you look at the reward structure for Quick Draft and Premier Draft is a lot better once you get to 3 wins. If you can't make it to 3 wins consistently, Premier Draft is a mistake. But if you can get through 3 wins very consistently, Premier Draft does well. Alright, I think I'm going to miss 1 cycle. Yep, missed 1 cycle. Alright. I don't know the difference between the two. That's perfectly fine. All it is it's one really, they're basically the same idea. Quick Draft and Premier Draft have at times been the exact same format. The main differences are literally just how much it costs to enter, and what's the other one? Yeah, how much it costs to enter, and whether or not you're drafting with real players or bots. So, if you're drafting with bots, there are some ways where you can figure out the AI and, like, just say, okay, I'll go into this deck because the AI don't recognize this as a deck archetype. So there's an example of, like, one of the drafts a long time ago. There was a mill deck that you could actually consistently draft using common cards. And so when you went into Quick Draft, because no one is, like, competing for it, it's the computers don't realize that mill deck is available. Everyone who's just playing Quick Draft, they, against their personal pot of computers, will always get the, will always grab the deck against the computer. Yeah, same with the Gates deck in Ravnica, yep. But yeah, it's just basically, if the computer doesn't realize this is an archetype that can exist, then it's not going to be able to responsibly draft against you for it. So, where in player draft, the other players, they're trying to get that abusive card themselves, so they're going to be fighting you for it. So there's a bit of things there where by drafting against real players, you actually have to like read the room, figure out what decks you can go for in a way that you just like, no matter how much experience you get, you cannot do that against AI. They will not leave the offer on the table for you. Just gonna freeze that. I know the odds of me getting hit there are pretty high. So that's like one of the main key differences. I'm just gonna state there are dynamics that change when drafting against players versus computers, but I think that example is good enough of an example. Whew. I played a dangerous game and I got punished for it. Ah. Yep. Barbarian's good against IRAD, but Barbarian's good against Enoch, but pretty poor against IRAD. And that's an issue I'm running into right now. One HP and a dream. Yep. Legion game, 1 HP a dream. Yep. How's it going, Legion game? This is a pretty poor class, so like even if this character dies, that might actually be a positive in time frame. Which is sad this late into the fight. I was also thinking that you could get hit and not die, but I wasn't expecting having 1 HP left. Yep. Oh, my luck never worked. Ugh. No rerolls. The only one that's even playable, arguably. Alright, that way I can now use those. You didn't work, but that's okay. We'll grab Duelist now. Oof. Hopefully that gets fixed. Yep, the lockdown effect, just having that issue is really rough. Remember reading a phrase, an intelligent person is not always wise, but a wise person is always intelligent. I mean, depends on your form of intelligence. What's the issue of the lockdown effect? If you lock down a character class, it sometimes doesn't actually lock it down. So, like, I locked down Knight, and then Knight was not an option I had there. So, the lockdown, locking down the character did not actually work. Alright, no more hits. Estimated 500-second queue time. Oof. Sure. Big problem for me about this question is the language barrier, because both intelligence and wisdom translate to almost the same word. Fair enough. I'll see if I can find, I'll find a different way. Maybe if I just put learned knowledge versus intuitive. I mean, I guess if I put education versus experience, it makes it very apparent, because simply by, getting, like, the process of getting a job, you could say that experience beats education. I have a solution. I have a better question. And hope if this other question also translates poorly, then we have other issues. But using the same concept, because wisdom is just like generally seen as a form of intelligence. I wonder how charisma feels, because like charisma is, like, knowledge of people is an intelligence, but it's a very distinct form of intelligence. There we go. Now with this eye here, we actually have good use there. Thought I could just rush it through. Made a poor mistake. Does experience versus intuition capture the idea of the original question? Kind of? I think that's a good way of capturing the original question. Yeah, I think that's close enough. Legion game. I've reached level 115, but it's not enough for me to kill Enoch. My crooked hand. Ugh, sorry to hear that, Legion game. Sorry to hear that. Everyone, that's what. So they made sure that you could get to certain levels so that people can get to, like, their way of balancing the game is make it hard and then allow people to level up as much as they need to effectively, so that people, as you're saying, could reach level 115 and then keep moving forward. Hey, Crackstyle, glad to have you here. Oh my gosh. Well, doing pretty poorly with those. I think both my damages this fight have been through the chasers, which is not good to see. I literally tried a level 270th full ult clear on an NG plus all burdens, or I could try to reach level new game plus 3 at level 1. Oof. Alright. Bone Bros is kind of blocking my path, yep. Really want to play this game more, but I just have so much at the moment. Yep, fair enough. I've been wanting to play different games because this game takes up so much time. Yeah, no, I understand entirely, Kraken style. Anyways, these deaths have turned this run from pretty good to starting to look pretty bad, and always unfortunate when the goal is to just keep it sub 1 hour, but like recently we've just been like sub 15 minutes has been the goal, so I don't think I'm there anymore. Yeah, the first one always has the mistake that I can see how long I've been streaming for, so therefore I can actually know how long this has been going on, likely. Like, it will be off by a few minutes because I wait about a minute or so before I start actually start up the run, because it takes people a while to get here, but yeah. Oh my gosh. The attack canceled my jump. And then I just stood there, basically, because I was waiting for myself to jump so I could respond. Oh my gosh. I thought that the platforms were equal in level. I thought you could dash between them, but did I mess something up? Yeah, I thought you could. Oh well. Oh well. I'm basically... Alright. Still here, but tab muting so I could focus on match. Yeah, fair enough, man. These duelists haven't been, like, very good with their spells or anything like that. Oof. Alright. I need to focus on Smash as my first priority. I really want to play Guilty Gear Strive more, but it ends up being a hindrance. I'm basically in honeymoon phase with Guilty Gear Strive because all my friends are better than me. It makes the game not as fun to play, but I need to put the time in. Yep. That's kind of my issue, like, with fighting games, if you're not one of the people who has figured it out, the process of figuring it out sucks. Like, it's like, how do you play this game? Well, first you put the time in. Wait, I thought the whole point of the game is fun. No, you gotta put the time in. Then it gets fun. It's like, well, then why don't I... Like, I understand the appeal entirely, don't you worry. I also understand the barrier. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Darn chasers. Chasers are always just like putting me in a weird position. But yeah, that was 2 hits from the same attack. I'm really disappointed. There we go, that's an acceptable spell layout. I get angry when I play it with friends because yeah, you can't. Can you play a game if you lose before you understand what's going on? And it does not help that I have to focus on technically 2 full-fledged RPGs, a game and a campaign, so my free time balance basically does not exist. Yep. It's one of those things, like, I remember I once was in 3 different D&D campaigns. That's like, I legitimately had, like, that was all my free time, just in those 3 D&D campaigns. Why is IRAD being such an issue for me right now? Just not paying attention? Whatever it is, let's get my legs warmed up. Okay, so dashing across like that does not work. I thought it did. Maybe I have to face the right direction. I'm trying to figure out why it's not working. Because like when the boss is over, I do that dash around just to like pump myself up. And Hey, Sweet Good, how's it going? Oh, I thought that was an instant speed, like 1 frame. No, that lasted for a while. There we go. Alright. Nice thing about Strive is that the netcode is much better for learning. Oh, doesn't Strive have, gosh, what's it called? Rollback? So yeah. You'll be leaving just a bit later for a Smash tournament. Perfectly fine, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. I hope you do well in the Smash tournament, Kraken. I made a not so easy decision yesterday. I took about 1/5 of my saved up money to buy myself a Valve Indexed. Ooh. Interesting. I hope you make it worth its while. I hope you make it worth its while. Eastern time, so yeah, you're leaving pretty soon. Yeah, you're staying for the end of this run probably, and then you're heading out. Alright. Good luck at the Smash tournament. Villager Pawn better kick. I want to see Villager Pawn kick some butt. Or hear about it at least. Ooh. Alright, got a good spell. Don't mess with these chasers, because that's what's been happening. I've been messing with the chasers. The chasers have not been friendly to me. Weird. That was close. Well, that was just a pair of mistakes on my part. Nothing exceptional other than they were mistakes. That one was a bit exceptional there. I always wanted my own VR headset, and... Oh, just a sec. Alexithymia, that's fine. I always want my own VR set and put some research in what suits my needs the best. Of course, it was one of the more expensive ones. Yep. And because I can't go to Japan anyway for the next few months. Fair enough. Hey, that's a solution. I can't leave home, so I gotta find a good reason to stay here. Appreciate it. Good idea. Oh my gosh, I just realized we've been dying to IRAD so much. So many deaths have occurred to IRAD. We might not make it sub an hour. We might not make it sub an hour. That's disgusting. It's been like a month. It's been like over a month since I last had a run that didn't make it sub an hour. I'm just like messing up with those chasers. That's really that's the only thing that's happening. I'm just not doing well with the chasers for some reason right now. Like I keep just barely missing their hitbox and the game wrecked by them. Gotta prioritize taking out the chasers a bit more. Oh my gosh. That time I just didn't get off the ground, so that makes sense why I did. My echo kick's not gonna work if I don't leave the ground, so. Just being safe. Okay, at least it's over. At least it's over. Let's see if we kept it sub an hour. Which I hit. But like. Yeah, see? It goes across. Why was I falling? It goes across. I swear I was falling when I was trying to do that during the fight. Oof. If it's any consolation, I'd probably need more than an hour to get past the first enemy. Ew. By that one life, we did not make it sub an hour. The second of their kind. It wasn't even Sir Kenny, it was Sir Kenny the second. Ew. Ew. Just get it out of my face. Sorry. I just... Ugh. Eee. Quick change to the question. There we are. That's a better question. That's one that people aren't going to complain about. I thought you used quick drop, which makes you drop down. I do. That's what was making it so weird. That's why, like, a lot of those were just not working out right, I guess. It was really weird. That's why I, like, usually don't have to worry about that, but it wasn't working properly, I guess. Alright. I'm gonna take a moment to recenter myself, and then we'll do the second run. Three, 2, 1, go. Right. Well, the second run I always retire the hero instantly. Like every other run I retire the hero, so this is going to be one where I retire. And hopefully this one does well. Hopefully I don't die to IRAD 13 times. Hero Complex, not good for one that's doing everything. I'm actually going to grab Panic Attacks because it gives me good gold boost. So we're basically playing the base character, except we have a plus 50% gold boost, but yeah. This is the first character except they have Panic Attacks. Choosing one does not exclude the other, right? So if I say Intelligence, it does not mean there's 0 Charisma. Correct, correct. That's the big theme. That was the big question of Intelligence versus Wisdom. The problem is, a lot of them you can't really describe properly. We were having problems with, like, apparently Intelligence and Wisdom. Like, people were trying to get the precise definitions, and they were looking at Google translators, and the translator would literally say they are would describe them as the same thing, synonyms, you know? So, I had to change up the question slightly. Why do I only have 170? Oh, because I already started with an heirloom. Really quick. Gotta check it. I have no choice, gotta check it. Boxing gloves, not interested. We're just gonna take these, keep ourselves safe. So then I prefer Charisma then. Alright. Do you want... I feel like, yeah, that's something that can be discussed a lot better. Like, what is more... Not just what is more important than you, but what is more useful. Because, like, that is very much... Where Intelligence and Wisdom, it's like... There's some lives where Intelligence isn't as important, but there's no life where Wisdom isn't important. In the Intelligence versus Charisma, like, that could be just, like, a matter of personal desires. Oh, right, I don't take damage from spikes. Playing trying to avoid spikes. Turns out it doesn't even matter. Oh my gosh. Just need to find that heirloom so I can fully heal and get myself out of this situation. So yes, I do know I still lose my, I still get the blindsidedness even if I shield dash. I just still think it's worth the while. High Charisma and High Intelligence is a very deadly combination, though. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Most of the people that have ended the most lives, most of the people in the power that took it to end the most lives. Charisma and Intelligence. Ah, come on. Ooh. Wait, did you talk about the events with T-Lore? The question popped up late in my head. I mean, I didn't, like, give him advice or suggest anything. He decided those events himself. I just, like, he showed up in my chat. I was just talking about it. And he brought up that your Lamech percent run was great. That's all he said. Or that's what you're worried about. I was in the middle of a sentence. How dare you interrupt me, bot? I still need to find Stiggy and Steady before I go face Lamech. Alright, we found Far Shores, I think. Oof. Alright. There we are. I wasn't worried, I was just wondering. Yep, nope. Alright. Whew. 140% resolve, so that will be 120 after the lilies. This character is not set up with the items necessary to take on the Maw, so I don't think that's going to be happening. Technically, all info regarding the events can be freely used by T-Lore. Yep. Oh well, I'm about to get a heal, so probably should have actually damage boosted more. Alright. Whew. There we go. I'll be gone for a bit, back in half an hour. Alright, see you later, Mindful Line. Hopefully this run's done within half an hour, but it's not, it's okay. So yeah, I think I might, so I need to consider, I think I might end this stream early so that I can focus on getting my stuff ready for the session tonight, or tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow's D&D, and I'm thinking of, I'm probably gonna just get myself ready for the session. So, I'm just doing my 2 runs, and then I'm going to do the draft. And if that means we have some extra time, I'm going to take advantage of that extra time. Alright. Oh, right. I can walk on spikes. More of a fun talent than a useful one, but talent nonetheless. First ranked match went well. I was the healer of the party. Good to hear, Lambodroid. Good to hear. And what about time save? I don't know what you're talking about. We are now on the next run. I didn't get any like big time saves. My random character ended up basically being the first character, except they have panic attacks and an heirloom that I didn't really care for. Oh wait, this is one that just goes to a chest and then a dead end. Oh my gosh. Blobfish throwing themselves into spikes to change their trajectory to mess me up. Those tricky monsters. Walking on the spikes. Was it a time save there? No, I was just kind of doing it for fun. I don't think that's a time save at all. It would be cool if that is a time save. It would actually make the boots worth some time, but yeah, I don't think it's a time save. do that. Get this door open. Awesome. Are you gonna play MTG today? Yep. After this run, I think. Gonna do more drafts. Can you play some ranked? Sure. I'll do a little bit of my Cleric Standard 2022. Why? Is there like something specific you want to see? Do you just want to see what ranked format looks like right now? Or is there like a specific deck? Like, I'm wondering why you want... Like, I'm perfectly happy to play ranked. I'm just like curious as to the desire. That's all. Just curious to see how it is for a free-to-play player. Yep. Definitely a very different experience. I'm at a much lower rank. I think I got to gold recently, but I did that through, well, I have 270 mana right now. I just realized that this, heirloom allows me to get more mana than my actual maximum. But yeah, for free-to-play, it's really just you find either the budget deck you like, or you, like, you accept that you're at lower ranks. Like, you either find your budget deck, or you... Yeah, okay, so Panic Attacks was too bad of a weakness there. So I couldn't get past that boss with Panic Attacks. Hypercoagulation. But they have so much fight left to do. I'm not sure the Hypercoag can make it. But yeah, I'll do a little bit of Clerics. But yeah, free-to-play, really all it is you can't play the meta decks. And that just means if you face the meta decks, sucks to be you. Oh. Accidentally hit another health up. That's okay, I'm sure. Alright. Well, looks like the locking the character isn't going to be happening this round. A little unfortunate. Oh well. But yeah, as a free-to-play player, I will say Draft is way more entertaining than Constructed, but very much it's because of decks like Rogues, decks like Eldraine. The whole issue, basically here's the issue. As a free-to-play player, there's no reason to invest into the sets that are going to be rotating out soon. And so if you don't have investment into them, you just don't, you don't touch them. And if that like is putting you behind, then that's where it's the issue. So like Eldraine, like not having Throne of Eldraine cards in current standard is just like, it puts you so much further behind. And that's why I'm just like, I've been playing Standard 2022 because it just makes a lot more sense given the situation as a free-to-play player. And yeah, we don't even touch Historic. We don't even have the option of touching Historic, basically. Whenever there's like a Historic event, I just play a Standard deck and just keep playing until I run into someone who also has a Standard deck. Either way, I'm more of... Vibes, do you happen to know the story of Timmy, Johnny, and Spike? Because if you know that story, I am very much Johnny. Therefore, I don't need to, Therefore, as a Johnny, I don't need to, like, win every single game. There's definitely the issue that when you're in the ranked queue, you're going to find someone who's playing the deck. And, like, oh well, you run into them every once in a while. You play that game to gain experience, not to win. Like, definitely happens. Oh, not enough. Whew. And the meat dissipated. Oh well. There we are. Alright, so that's one lily. Alright, I think we just have to do that for healing. Unfortunate that that was the case, but we need to find a mob, we need to find shores. I'm ready to use as my main excuse, I'm losing because I'm free to play, Kappa. They do give you, so when you start the game, they do give you a strong suite of decks so that you can actually play. You actually, I can show you, like, if you just look at all your white cards, there's a pretty good, like, white mid-range, there's a white mid-range good card deck that is available to you, when you boot up the game, because they give you, a few starter decks, and in just if you take their white base deck that they have, and then, like, add just, like, the Elspeth Conquers decks and stuff like that that you have in your inventory, but they didn't give you in that deck for some reason, you actually do have something that can compete pretty effectively. Or you can get something that can compete pretty effectively, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, that can get you past bronze into silver, and silver to gold is really just, do you have enough time frame on you? And then it's the same for the future ones. You do have to have better decks, but I think if you look at the reward structure, ranking up only really, like, it doesn't, being at bronze rank instead of silver rank isn't very devastating, unless, like, the difference between bronze and silver is not devastating. The difference between silver and diamond is actually not that big. The actual reason for ranking is so if you can get to mythic. And even if you have all the cards, getting to mythic is a huge time investment. Even if I had all the cards, I probably wouldn't be in mythic, almost because of the time investment alone. Alright, the lily's over to my left. Yeah. So if you, when you have enough money to get a draft, I'm perfectly fine, doing a, like, I'm not sure if you, I guess you probably don't stream, but, if you want, I can help you when you do drafts so that I can explain kind of my situation, you can explain yours, and we can kind of, like, figure out what is the best pick, get you a better sense of what you should be doing during draft, stuff like that. 2 weeks later, Vive switches to pay-to-play. No, he just opened those cards by fortune. The fact that I got 4 copies of this card that's necessary for the deck, for the Emergent Ultimatum deck, like, he just got lucky, gain 4 Emergent Ultimatums for the 4 packs he bought of Ikoria. Vibe sells his house to buy cards. That's even worse because MTGA is digital cards. I think this character has muscle weakness, I just didn't realize it because Fiends are not getting knocked back. Alright. I actually can face Gone Heads, and the difference between... because they deal 100 damage, basically. So the difference between this and full health is surprisingly not that significant. Even though it's so far away from full health. Okay, so your little statement there. Homeless Man has best deck in MTGO. So at my local MTG, there was an MTG place that I used to go to that I stopped going to, and one of the themes was just like some of the people were super intense, and I legitimately, one of the people that had one of the strongest decks in there, I later saw them walking shoeless across the street over to the local hobo camp. Like, there are people that don't have places to live who are part of the hobo camp who show up to the Friday Night Magic games. I'm just like, surely your money could be spent elsewhere. Like, surely someone will want to buy that Mirrodin deck, that's Legacy of Mirrodin deck you have. Gosh. Yeah, walk over to the hobo camp with your $5,000 deck. I mean, he didn't have the deck in his hands. Who knows where the deck was, but I know he actually has like an old like Mirrodin. I think it's a modern deck. I'm not sure if I think Modern banned a lot of the cards, so he had that deck. And then I remember the one time I saw him outside of the D&D place. It was him running over to a hobo camp. I'm like, ah. I'm now no longer sad that I lost to you. You have your own issues that you're dealing with. Gosh, they're so far away. I actually need the hill to make it, I think. Oh, one more down. Ooh. Well, I took 0 damage, so using that apple wasn't necessary. But also, given that this is so far away from anything, I think I'm okay. Like, the apple's far enough away from things, I think that's perfectly fine. It's okay, I'll take my time to learn these. I literally have to start from 0. Oh, right. Ooh. Yeah, so there was a talk that I was watching a professional Magic player talk about how Magic the Gathering looks so different from a new player. Just like the new player experience versus the veteran player experience is so different. Like, you actually have to press, like, there's a button over in the corner of your screen that if you don't press, it will literally never show you any of the more advanced play themes. It won't, like Premier Drafts that I do, it will not show you that the Premier Drafts are a thing you can do. Just to get you an idea of what I'm saying by that. Best of 3 also isn't shown, and Best of 3 is apparently really good, but you need to know. Or you're starting at 0.5 thanks to the knowledge of your stream. I appreciate it. Actually, so here's the thing. Once you start getting into drafts, going back and watching my drafts and seeing what worked, what didn't, can actually help you evaluate cards. So, like, if you go to a draft and I have and I actually have games in that format, you can actually look at those to get a sense of what's going on. There's also obviously guides and stuff that other people have released. I'm just giving you the option you can use that supports me, you know. Yep, thought so. Alright. So yeah, definitely standard is very different than ranked. Or sorry, ranked is very different from limited because the difference in cards, if nothing else. I do have some videos where I played the limited formats, but I played the ranked formats, the cleric class stuff. So I'll play a little of that if you want to see it. Alright. So after I beat Murmur, I think it is still... After I beat Murmur, I'm gonna go, pave the way for Irad. I think. Didn't know where the spikes were, just knew there were spikes. Alright, there we are. Magic is very complicated where there are 500 different abilities and cards and whatnot. Okay, so the 500 abilities is due to the fact that there's 100 or so sets. That's in Legacy. If you're dealing with Standard, you only have like 6 sets to worry about, and that has far fewer abilities to have to deal with. It's complicated if you're going to Legacy, but if you're going into Draft, like, the only abilities are, like, Venture and Roll a Dice, which is pretty obvious. From there, I guess you do have an argument for the Evergreen abilities, but a lot of the Evergreen abilities are there because they're pretty self-explanatory. Like, Flying. Creatures with Flying can't be blocked except by other creatures with Flying or Reach. Like, so it's just, they fly over the opponents. They fly over the opponent's creatures. So, like, that's pretty self-explanatory. First strike. If you're in a fight, this one strikes first. If it can kill them, then they win because they struck first. That's pretty self-explanatory once you recognize it. Like, that stuff becomes self-explanatory. Death Touch. If it touches you, you die in the trade. That makes sense. Like, the Evergreen cards, I'm not going to count as a burden of knowledge because, like, it's the burden of knowledge that, like, is intuitive. Like, some things aren't always intuitive. No, okay, Scry might be a little weird, but, yeah. Flash. You can play instantly, just in a flash. Hexproof. Okay, that one's... So, first of all, Hexproof's no longer Evergreen. Hexproof is now Ward. And they have the cost listed on the... And there's another thing. You can always just read the cards. Like... I know this, like, this is always a joke me and my brother had when we were at, like, in-person events. Like, just read the cards, man. Like, so many people have played into our traps in, like, limited events because they don't bother reading their cards. And they've also been, like, offended, like, hey, don't touch my card, man. Like, I'm trying to read it. But you have the right to read cards. Reading in 2021? Dad tried to steal other people's cards. Oop. Ooh. But yeah, I've had games where I won or I would have lost just by reading cards properly. Like, example where I won is like a guy was trying to block with their white walls. I'm like, but my creature has protection from white. He's like, yeah, I can still block. I'm like, no, you can't. That's literally in the description of protection. You can't block it. He's like, no, where does it say that? And I just like dragged the card over, showed him the description. He's like, oh. And his inability to block, like he was banking on the ability to block, and I ended up winning the game with an unblockable creature effectively. Because the guy was like, I don't think it was mono white, but he didn't have a response to that card. Yeah, I think it was white-blue, and since it was already on the board, he couldn't counter it. And it's like, if he just read the card and decided that was a threat worthy to counterspell, he probably could have won that game. But he didn't read the card. Oh. Great. I probably should have just reset my tower. Or reset that, gone back to the entrance is what I was trying to get at. Literally vertigo or unplayable. Alright. We're going with this one, and we're going to try to turn them into a duelist. What items do we got? I don't think we got anything new, so I just want to check. Oh, we got Leather Cape. That's good. That's actually good. Oh, I still need one more health pickup. Oh, and we don't have a lockdown on right now. Alright, well, we'll lock down Duelist later. If we need it. Alright. Let's kill Enoch, and then we'll climb the tower. Alright, well, I took the lesser of the damages. Definitely don't appreciate it, though. What? I thought I rolled through. Did I press the wrong button? Not appreciated getting this sort of position this early on. Okay, so when you throw your fireball, you're just like unable to roll for a serious period of time. That was a very long period of time that I could not roll. Alright, we're just gonna go with the giant. We need the money for that one health pip. Then we'll put the rest of it in intelligence. Alright, try to get back to Magic in 2013, which was, I think, Return to Ravnica and Great Crash. I did some goals against some local players. My matches were like 90% reading the cards and 10% actually playing. Yep. I heard you press the key like 3 times. Yep. Can you not see it? Just really quick. Yeah, you could see it as well. You could see my button presses as well. But yeah, it's like, I'm like, I need to roll. And then it wasn't rolling. So I was getting really annoyed. And it was becoming an issue that was going to kill me. So yeah, I was mashing the button, make sure it rolls the frame it's available. Just barely. That second one was a little stupid. So yeah, Gigantism obviously makes it a lot easier to hit them, but also a lot easier to get hit. Overall, the bullet hellness of some of these fights makes Gigantism a penalty. There we go. Shield Bash kill. Giants feel like they move so slow. So yeah, they don't actually have any changes to their movement speeds or anything like that. So Giants definitely feel slow because they're as fast as their much smaller compatriots. Woo. Oh. Ooh. The dwarves feel like they move too fast. If measured in body lengths per second, they do move slower. Fair enough, but I don't think... But that's like measuring the price of gold in fist sizes. Like... what was it? You want the bartenders with the biggest thumbs. Or whatever it was. It's not exactly an appropriate measurement tool. We were talking about over on my brother Target Face's stream, but there was actually a theme during the gold rush that they would do like because gold is just like flakes and stuff, and you have to get a lot of it. They would prices of things would be like so many pinches of gold, so you just have like gold dust in a pouch. And they would just, like, grab a pinch of gold. And that's how they would pay for stuff. And the problem is, not everyone has the same pinching size. And what happened is, like, all the bartenders and stuff like that were hiring the people with the biggest thumbs. Like, which sounds ridiculous until you, like, it's just business in that weird system. So that was actually a thing. So, yeah, proper measurements. When the big sword guys dwarf in comparison to you, you know you're a big boy. I'm a big kid now. Da-da-da-da. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we have enough lightning to grab the damage boost, which I'm still grabbing. I do recognize it's slower, and I have learned to do it properly, but this is just a security measure, and when things are going south, I'm going to go for security measures over perfect speed strats. Alright, so I need to go right. I need to go up and right, it looks like. You know what? Thought so. You ready to dodge all these projectiles? With a character that's twice the size? Because I'm not. We're gonna do it anyways, but I'm not ready for this. Having a kick that's twice the size is definitely appreciative, though. There's a few more up above. Alright, so there's one here, and there's one above it. Oop. That one's dead end. Okay, just do that. Oh god. This is a bad map generation, and then like I'm standing by this is a bad map generation just by how many times I've had to go back and forth. Oof. Sure. Alright, we need 1 health buff. Good. Wow, that was it. And that's all the money I have in my wallet. Alright. I'm gonna do night on the way up. Alright. It's like when I watched some insect documentary or something, and it said that the flea can jump the highest because they jump like 100 times their body length. So like that is only relevant versus the same species. Yep. Yep. Struggling to climb this, though. Yep. That was a fun struggle, but it was a struggle, and I don't appreciate it. Thanks. Well, I'm at 1-hit kills again. Even if I kicked off of that, I would have been launched to the clouds. Oh god. So I get a knight, I'm like, thank goodness. And this knight has all the talents to fight, and none of the talents to survive. It has 101 health. If it could make it, this character is ready set to fight Irad with damage output. But like, how does it make it? Oh my gosh. I ain't liking this. Today's looking like a bad day for speedrunning. For me, at least. Cursed first run. Cursed Castle second run. These are both exits that work. Well, I'm not dead. And if I get hit like that again, I will be at 1 HP the dream, so I'm not dead. I do a nice amount of damage. Oh, right, I have the night. I have that freaking nightmare room. This one. Whew. The same lantern, even. The same very lantern. Super IDS. I just like how one person gave the lol in response to that, and the other person gave a feels bad man. Lantern 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yep. Fair enough. Lantern 2 Tadpole 0. Okay, to be fair, Tadpole has a lot more wins under his belt, just not today. Ugh. Not liking this. Not liking this. If that lantern gets me again, we are resetting the castle. I am going to unlock the architect. I am resetting the castle if that thing gets me again. I'm back. Is my world record alright being? No. Right now we're just like trying to get back to the, like, this run's going south as well. This run's going south as well. World record in hitting lanterns, yes. So yeah, there's this one lantern during this map generation that has killed me twice now. It's infuriating. Alright, this room. So we have to go over. And then shield. I don't have shield bash with this character. Well, but we have more health to face this lantern. So we wait for the lantern to go. Okay. Lantern had one final hurrah. But it was Lantern's brother that did it. Okay, well, I get free... Oh, God. I can't believe I made it through. We actually did it. Oh. And we might so I think we're sub 50 is out of the question, but we might still do sub hour, which the fact that how long has it been since that was a thing I said? I think it was far short. I think it was far short since last I said something like that. Thank you, freeze frame. Thank you, freeze frame. "850-second queue." That was so long. Oof. Oh, T-Lor's back. Glad to have you here, man. Well, I mean, in general, this run is not one I like people here. Like, if everyone could just go away and be back in 10 minutes. I can't remember the last 1 hour run, but obviously would have been somewhere during a patch with IRAD. But I also stopped doing a lot of runs after my PB being world record for a while. Yep. Oh my gosh. These two runs have just been something disgusting. But hey, it's okay. I can get some bad luck after some time. Like, I got world record for a moment. Like, I can handle getting some bad luck immediately after world record. I enjoy these runs. I'm sure you do. There we go. Alright, that one we kept sub an hour. That one I'm certain we kept sub an hour. It means the change of pace. Watching it also shows where one should pay attention and what to avoid. Yep. Yep. As long as you accept what it is, it's good. It's just like, I have problems accepting it once over an hour long. You know? That was 49.21. That's something I can accept. No worries, Sir Truman. You can get your own show. You don't have to be put away. Alright. I actually still find it funny how you said I would beat it in a few days. I said I wouldn't. It took me less than 24 hours. I just knew it. I saw it coming. That's all I was saying. I saw it coming. Alright. I'm going to go take care of a few things, and then I'll be back. We'll play some Magic the Gathering Arena. Who was it? Vibes. If you still want me to do some standard play, just let me know. I think I'm gonna prioritize draft first. I'm gonna draft, and then if you're still around after that, I think I'll do some standard play, if that sounds good to you. But let's get myself my rest that I need, so I'll be back in just a bit. Sorry that took a little longer than expected. But now we can do what we're here for. No board doesn't need to be around. MTG Arena. I'm just going to put Draft for Forgotten Realms. Oh. Stream info, this is not a speed run. Not anymore. Used to be a speed run, but I'm planning not to speed run the Magic drafts. Good luck on your drafting. Thank you very much, T-Lord. Thank you very much. Oop, the Arena Open is starting. That's interesting. I gotta look that up. Deals. Ooh, we have all the good, like, Japanese styles. Dude. These are some good ones. I might get the Duress or the Eliminate. Alright. Anyways, let me just check what is the Arena Open. So you get a card sleeve and then you have to win a ton of games to get anything. Standard with single game matches. Yeah, no. Not happening. Alright. Premier Draft Forgotten Realms. Just give me a moment. Right. But yeah, so in case you're wondering, quick drafts, they both have the same first 3 win rewards, but then the third one, you suddenly gain 750 gems. So, if it, I just realized who I'm talking to might not be here right now. Oh well. I'm just going to take a deep breath, I'm going to do my Premier Draft, and then we'll move forward from there. Hey everyone, and welcome back to more Premier Drafts in the Forgotten Realms. We've been doing pretty good. We just went 7 wins twice in a row. Once with a tempo deck, and it's actually been long enough that I forgot where the other deck was. That's actually kind of funny. Alright. Well, we keep moving. I think we're at, like, Platinum Tier 1, so we might even make it to Diamond soon. Alright. Deep breaths. Figure our picks. But yeah, last time we had to pick a Stalwart Paladin as our first pick, which is a common, and just, like, not where you expect to be. Alright, Dancing Sword is a nice card. Warlock class is pretty nice, Ray of Frost is pretty nice, but, like, it's Dancing Sword. Faraday's Fireball is a nice red card. A lot of these are, like, they're good for archetypes, they're not just generally good cards. These are the only, like, these 4 are the 4 generally good cards, and of them, Dancing Sword's just the best. Notable colors things. If Hobgoblin Captain and Faraday's Fireball, like, those are the reds that I'm going to look for, but those are really the only signal cards, so. I made gold again today, so I get 1 more pack after my vacation. Awesome. Awesome to hear. Monk of the Open Hand. Not really for limited. You're not drawing cards fast enough. Reaper's Talisman is pretty great. It just is another good equipment. Allows you to tack in very easily. Intrepid Outlander is also really good. Just a 2-mana 2/3 bear is good enough. I think that might just be, like, base strong enough that I should probably pay attention to Intrepid Outlander. So, between Intrepid Outlander and Reaper's Talisman, I think the Outlander is a bit stronger. Another Faraday's Fireball. There are going to be some good kill spells. Your Ambush on the Road is also... Oh, no, I'm thinking this is You Hear Something I'll Watch. My mistake. Yuan-Ti Fangblade's pretty nice. More Soul Knife Spies, more Faraday's Fireballs. Yeah. If I get to pick 9 and there's still Faraday's Fireballs, then I think that tells me red is open. I hear a lot of hate towards, like, playing green. It really depends on the format. Green is just very much... It does its big stompy theme. There's not much ramp in this format, other than treasures. Like, other colors ramp better than green in this format, so I understand where it's coming from. Alright, Here's Something on Watch is good. Hobgoblin Captain. Yeah, there's not really... This is the only one that's removal. There's no, like, amazingly good cards in this pack. I was going to say, like, there is a notice that that someone took a common instead of the uncommon. But I'm looking at these 3 uncommons. I don't want any of them, and I'm in I'm in this color. Like, I might honestly get Wild Shape rotated all the way back to me. Specifically in this format, yeah, because the ramp is in other colors. The ramp is in red, black. So the main advantage that green usually has is not green's advantage. I faced someone who used Wild Shape, I was just like, wait, what card? Alright. So. Delver's Torch could just say we can go equipment with Dancing Sword. I think Barrowin has the best upside. Our deck doesn't really want Barrowin right now, but it has the most upside. None of these cards have like amazing upsides for me to be fighting for. I want to go speculative, and we just haven't been getting good cards. Like, if I'm not picking Barrowin, I guess I'm picking the Pegasus or the Delver's Torch. I'm not really the happiest with those. Alright, 50 feet of rope. Gloomstalk. Celestial Unicorn, I could try going life gain, because that is white-green. Pegasus for aggro? That is an option, I just don't want to commit to that this early. I don't know, like, in the bomb, rare, aggro, in the bread formulation, this is possible, this is capable of being a bomb, so I chose this over the aggro card. It is a great aggro card, I'm not ignoring that at all. So I'm just trying to decide, do I want to speculate into Celestial Unicorn, or do I just 50 feet of rope? It's kind of funny how you're talking about how everyone hates on green. I've been hearing a lot of people hate on blue, and my first 7 wins draft in this format was blue-green. Yeah. More Wild Shapes, jeez. Alright. Boulettes is a pretty good one. Delver's Torch can just... I think I'm going to pick the Delver's Torch and just basically commit that I can start grabbing equipment-based strategy stuff, so I can start splashing red instead. That basically opens up all colors except blue for me. My only hate towards blue is the spellbook. It's too janky for limited. Yep, it's not a limited card, and which is hilarious because it's not a constructed card either. There are some good green cards. I think green is open. Another Barrowin if I could pull it off. I have been getting majority white, so if I could get another Barrowin, yeah, I'm gonna go for the Barrowin. It's definitely vulnerable, and no, Dungeon Crawler is not good. It's just a 1-mana 2/1. Like, that's it. Like, sure, it could come back sometimes. That's not why you're even picking it. So here's the question. Underdark Basilisk is just a good 2-drop if I want to go white-green. But if I want to go white-black, Fate's Reversal Ventures more, I think the upside of Underdark Basilisk is high enough that I'll pick it over the Fate's Reversal. Alright, so now we see my pack over. And all the good red cards were taken. I have a feeling red's going to be very heavily picked in this draft, so I have to be prepared for that. Ranger's Hawk can venture to help me with the Barrowins. Yeah. Like that. Alright. For the same reason, do we pick a second Ranger's Hawk? I think 2 Ranger's Hawks is our absolute maximum, but I'll take it. Feigned Death can sometimes trigger. Direwolf Prowler is a possibility, but I'm going to go with Feigned Death because it's often it often stops a kill spell and gives us an ETB trigger, so since the main ETB that they're going to want to kill is Barrowin right now, I think Feigned Death can work. Of these options, Half-Elf Monk is a playable. Gloomstalker might work if we match to the adventure deck. Alright, Plate Armor is just... So, Blue Dragon's pretty nice, but we have Plate Armor. That's amazing equipment. We already have 2 good equipment that I'm willing to play in my deck. Like, I think this is an easy Plate Armor here. Also worth noting, there's some really good blue cards in here. There's a Spiked Pit Trap. I do like Spiked Pit Trap despite people's beliefs. Shambling Gas is also pretty enjoyable. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to go with Plate Armor first, though. Alright. Priest of Ancient Lore is just a good 3-drop. Just nothing more needs to be said, and I have 3 equipment for it. Prosperous Innkeeper, if I want to focus on green splashing black, that could work because it gets me a treasure token. So the Prosperous Innkeeper is definitely considered. The Veteran Engineer is a nice additional venture, but I think we have enough ventures right now. I think we want the Priest of Ancient Lore as just a good value card. Prosperous Innkeeper can be life gain, and it can be color splash. So I am considering the Innkeeper, but lore is just... I think it's just that good. I think Prosperous Innkeeper is just that good. It was in my 7-2 deck, but it wasn't the Wizard Spellbook that actually helped. Yep, fair enough. So yeah, we have 3 green cards. They're all pretty premium, but I think we want to keep focusing on not on white-black right now. I think I'm going to go with either the Faneblade or the Zombie Ogre. Looking at our curve. Yeah, I think we actually go with the Zombie Ogre here. The Zombie Ogre is good for our curve. If we take out these... Yeah, so let's just imagine we're taking out green. I think we still could probably splash green in. But, like, looking at that curve... Yeah. We want a bit more, like, mid-game. Like, ramp up into this stuff. And we also like the Venturing. Like, the Shisra could be good. Could definitely be good. Maybe in the future. White Dragon is the top end. And the fact that this is pick 4, that no one to my left I think is a white deck, unless there's like a bomb white card that appeared. So the White Dragon is a very happy finisher for my deck. Portable Hole I like to allow for tempo. Hama is very good if I can manage to splash blue somehow. Do I speculate for that, or do I just pick the safe Portable Hole? That's the big question. There's also, you hear something on watch, so... And if I'm splashing, I feel like I'm splashing green, not blue, is the main issue. And there's a dungeon map. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. There's no way I'm getting any of these back, is the main issue. Alright, auto-selected Hama. Sure. We'll see if we can splash the color in. Alright, Precipitous Drop, Removal, and Venture. How can I churn it down? Alright. Here we have a removal spell. And now there's no white or black. So if we splash in Hama, I don't think we want to splash in any of these other things, though. Yeah, none of these cards are really good for our deck archetype right now. I'll pick the Neverwinter Dryad just in case we end up actually going green, because we have enough green cards to make that a possibility. I don't actually want the +2 Mace. I don't actually want the Iron Golem either, though. The Herald of Hadar is a final, like, mana sink. Though, with Ranger's Hawks and 50 Feet of Rope, I don't think the mana sinks are the issue. But 5 mana 4/4 could just be good. Sometimes 5 mana 4/4 is just a good card. Gosh, the fact that Paladin's Shield costs 3 to equip. Like, why? Alright, Ambush on the Road might be able to be used as a combat trick, so I'll take that one. Alright. We got Shisra back. So... 19 cards, yeah, I think I'm going to speculate onto that on the because it might be, we might actually be capable of pulling it off. I think the 3rd Ranger Hawk is a bit much. But I don't want the Ranger's Longbow. Oh, auto-picked. Direwolf Prowler. Yeah, we have 19 playables, and then we have some good green cards. If we want to splash in green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make it somewhat viable, though Ranger's Bow is not equivalent of the other cards. The double barrel one definitely helps. 4th Ranger Hawk. Or 3rd, I guess, because I didn't get the other one. Drider, I need a way through. Yeah, Guardian of Faith is just... It's a 3-mana 3/2, and then sometimes it stops their combat trick kill stuff. So, I'll go with that. Dwarful Champion's pretty nice. Hunter's Mark's pretty nice, but I think we just want to go white-black if we can. Just make a more consistent deck. If we want to splash, we want to get blue splashed in, not green. Ooh, that Dragon's Fire is very tempting if I could actually have pulled it off. Alright, I already have a Delver's Torch. If we put Delver's Torch over... If we put Delver's Torch over to the right, I learned that I have 0 2-drops. So we're taking the Horde Robber because it's a 2-drop, and no other reason. The fact that it also could be good sometimes is cool, but I'm taking Grim Bounty. The Dawnbringer Cleric might rotate back, because Grim Bounty is just a really good card. But yeah, I just realized how few 2-drops I actually have, and that will be the deciding factor. It means I might have to play the 3rd Ranger's Hawk as literally just a bad 2-drop. Yeah. Not where you want to be, to put simply. Warlock class is kind of a 1-drop into a 2-drop. I'll try it out. It is a win condition at times, and it is 3 mana like cycles at other times. Hired Hexblade or Keen-Eared Sentry. I actually think the additional 1 point of health makes this card worth the while. Like, these are just not effects I really care about. They're not going to target me, they're going to target my creatures, and it's very rare that a deck is capable of venturing more than once in Constructed. Or in non-Constructed. Alright. It's only good with Treasure. It's a 2-mana 2/2, so I'm accepting that, and then sometimes I could venture into a Treasure token to make it better. So Sepulchre Gal has impressed me, and as I said, I just need more 2-drops. So, like, I have been seeing people do amazing things with this. Relic Maneuver would be good if I had the 2-drops to back it up. That's the thing. I need 2-drops to back up to be able to play that. Alright. Oof. If a deck can venture, it will at least finish a whole dungeon even in limited. That's at least what I noticed. Yep. Thieves' Tools to get myself more treasure, or Hired Hexblade just as another... I'm just going to make sure I have more than enough 2-drops now, and then I could start considering what is the proper 2-drops later. Oh, that's why. My 2-drops are in green. That's why I thought I was good on 2-drops. So Enchantment Destruction is actually good, because there's 2 colors in this format that have enchantment kill spells effectively. Dwarful Champion or another Feign Death. I'm going to go commit to Feign Death. I'm going to see if it's actually as good as it could possibly be. Zombie Ogre as another top end. Dawnbringer Cleric actually rotated around. I appreciate it. Now we actually have our choices of 2-drops. We could probably take out the Hexblades. If there's a deck where Mimic is a good 2-drop, Nah. Still no. Gosh, all the Ranger Hawks. I can't imagine myself needing more than 2, though. Alright. That probably gets cut. We now have more than enough 2-drops. So if I take those out, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we kind of have a 6th in Dancing Blade. And then 8th in Ranger's Hawks. And Warlock class. Alright. So we have a curve. We have more than enough ventures for Barrowwind to work. We need to get rid of 4 cards. Herald of Hadar is unnecessary. We have the 2 Zombie Ogres. Those are preferable. Gloomstalk is pretty nice. Again, if we manage to splash, we want to splash the blue Hama, and I don't think that's worth. Yeah, so Horde Robber is very much, if it can get through, which at times it will, it's going to be amazing. Let's put Delver's Torch as a 5-drop, as it belongs. Alright. I'm thinking Delver's Torch is actually the weak link here, which is pretty uncommon. I think one of the Half-Elf Monks, one of the Plains. And it's either Warlock class or Ranger. I think with the 50 feet of rope, 2 Ranger's Hawks is a little much. So we have still 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 proactive. We have 5 proactive 2-drops, 2 reactive 2-drops, and Warlock class. Yeah, I think this could work. I think this very much could work. We also have a Gloomstalker, which we could reanimate with Barrowwind for when it has Double Strike. The Zombie Ogres means when I trade with the Barrowwinds, I still get something out of it. Like, I think this is a good deck. We're going to see how this fares. Definitely one thing I'm noting is a lack of removal. A lot of, like, pushing my pressure, not a lot of getting rid of theirs. And that is an issue. That is very much an issue. We have a Grim Bounty, and we have a Precipitous Drop. I think that's basically our removal, and that's not good. Oof. If a deck can venture... Oh, yeah. How's it going, Weebish? How's it going? We just built a deck. It's a bit iffy, but it has 2 Barrowinds as our win condition. It's just it has no removal. It has 2 removals, and that's all it has to its name. So, that could be terrifying. This could go very wrong, but we're going to just go low to the ground, and we're going to just keep pushing, and hopefully it works. We have enough venture, so if we get to a dirtily board, we can win that said dirtily board. Alright, I think I'm going to play Dancing Sword over the... Okay, maybe I just you hear something on watch on the Malison. Yeah, getting a Malison this early means I think I want to save the Dancing Sword for another turn. I'm going to watch that, take it out before it can venture too much. Wow, and it even would have ways to keep it tacking in safely. Alright, then I could Precipitous Drop the Dungeon Crawler, if I'd like. Or if they play a creature. Yep. Venture, get myself a Scry. Another land's good. So a few of these that could be good here. So another Swamp gets me to my Grim Bounty, which allows me to treasure 2 Zombie Ogre. Alright. Definitely would have rather had a land, but... Or rather had a creature, but I can accept this. Are they stuck on lands? Alright. I'm gonna actually play the Dancing Sword. I don't think that's enough of a threat for me to Grim Bounty, and I'd rather just take it slow. Having a rough week, but I've been hyper-focusing on Borderlands 3, which has been fun. I need a break from all the lore and philosophy hyper-fixations. It's a lot of reading. Oh, yeah. Like, that sort of stuff is fun until you're forced to do it. That kind of focus on that is fun until you're forced to do it. So, I can see that entirely. Alright. I'm a Grim Bounty the Soul Knife Spy before they have an opportunity to start drawing cards with it. Then I can use that treasure token to play Zombie Ogre. Oof. I'm doing good. This person has a very, like, good swing in and kill deck. I just realized Curdle's ability is kind of like Thieves' Tools, just like a slightly more passive. Alright. Did not get a land, but I could still Zombie Ogre. Unfortunately, I had to do it like this, but hey, they're stuck on 3 lands, I can be stuck on 4. Then I equip the Dancing Sword to this. I attack. I don't think I plate armor unless I draw a land, so I can hold up a Feign Death for the Zombie Ogre. Because they're probably looking for a kill spell. They might be very excited that I played the Zombie Ogre so that they could kill it. But I need to start applying something. Curdle becomes an issue. I want them to keep tapping mana to activate Curdle, or to equip the Thieves' Tools to it, as seen here. Alright, so they're doing a 4-point life swing when you count the gaining 1 life, but I'm going to be dealing a minimum of 5-point life swing. Alright. Milled the Gloomstalker. I think that's technically good for me. Ooh. I just realized I used both my removals already. Like, I drew my removals, so I didn't even think about it, but I think I used both my removals already. Alright. So 5-point life swing beats 4-point life swing. And yes, I could have equipped plate armor instead. I'm doing this so I could hold up a Feign Death. This only returns creatures. So if they have a destruction for my plate armor somehow. If I could get planes, I can tap down the Curdle or whatever creature they play here and keep going. Alright, Sepulture Gal. I'm perfectly happy losing the Sepulture Gal. Alright. Definitely behind. Curdle's very good card. Definitely behind. But not out. They still need 3 turns of attacking to kill me, and I need 3 turns in response, but my 3 turns come first. So I am winning the race just very slowly, and only as long as there's no other triggers like that. They don't break the cycle. Oof. Double rolled it, still didn't make it. Oh, that's good. Alright, now I can kill the Curdle. And I think taking out their ability to do that sort of stuff is actually of value. I actually want them to spend their resources trying to kill the Zombie Ogre. Not only because the Feign Death gives it +1/+1, but because it just drains them of actions this turn. Charmed Sleep. Alright. Well, your ambush on the road still takes care of that. But I think it is still more important to watch the Curdle and take him out. Oof. Made an account for just moderating on Discord, which has been so good for me. Glad to hear. Glad to hear that that's been out for you. So if I draw planes, I can actually play the White Dragon, and I'll re-equip it later. There we are. And this is 5 damage of equipment, so it actually is the kill shot. So yeah, White Dragon with the equipment is actually a kill shot. Equipment, putting in the work. A rare and an uncommon. The good equipment in this format are darn good equipment. It's the common equipment that are at issue. That aren't very good. Alright. Oof. Well, that's 1 win. We definitely felt the lack of removal, but the You Hear Something on Watch? I guess the You Hear Something on Watch is removal, so we still have 4 removal spells. So we do have some removal, but we very much are a deck where we play our plan, and our plan has to be better than theirs. Which is, in draft, something I'm not always comfortable with, because we have no, our only rare, I think, is the blade, is the sword. Huh. Gotta figure that out, but we're doing good still. We're doing good still. Senko, I feel like I've faced you before. That name sounds so familiar. Alright, I get Warlock class into draw cards. And we keep moving. Community amount is quite chill, so I just need to remind people of Twitch stuff. Just a sec, I gotta focus. I mean, this is a playable eventually. The other 2 are just lands. Yep. We had a raid with a bunch of trolls yesterday, which was annoying, so it kind of stopped me from doing anything for a bit. Oof. Sorry to hear that. Alright. I hope... Yeah, venturing into the dungeon is not going to be my first play. Just, I refuse to allow that to be my first play. My first play, unfortunately, may have to be to Hear Something on Watch, the Nadar. Ugh, that feels bad. Swamps don't help it. The fact that 50 feet of rope only, holds them down when they're tapped means that can't even stop Nadar. This, at the very least, should scare them into not attacking And if they do attack, I get my benefit. So I'm happy with this response. Definitely this kind of slow game that I didn't want to see, because they have a good rare and I do not. Just do this now, before they even venture. Maybe I should have let them venture first, so that they could do their play and then... God. So they deal additional damage, and they 1-for-1. They stopped the trade. Gosh. That is not good for me. And not getting the double white for Guardian of Faith also meant that was not an option. I'll play Barrowin, block Feign Death. That's my plan next turn. But the fact is that's a next turn plan, and it might be too late already. Thanks for giving me the planes now. A little late. Yeah, if they attack and buff up their Nadar, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I guess I just block. As much as I don't like that kind of block. Yeah, they got Nadar on turn 3. I didn't have good plays. That's what happened. Spike Pit Trap. So now they even have a kill for Barrowin if I try to combat trick. This is a nightmare. They have the responses, and... like, I can't play my combat tricks, because my combat one involves them being tapped, and the others just don't work here. So if they Spike Pit Trap this, that's actually good for me, but I have to let them Spike Pit Trap it now. If they're smart, they will just attack with Nadar, give Nadar a +1/+1 counter, and I cannot stop it. If I block, and I use Feign Death, they respawn by killing it. Or, they can do that. Oh, but then Nadar just ventures, and... now, Barrowin doesn't even trade with the Goblin properly. If they put a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright. Well, now I actually have to trade with the Goblin of all things. Which tells you just how far behind I am. Alright, well at least Barrowin's going to come out back as a 4/4, so it can actually properly block Nadar. And I definitely need the 1/1 over the other enchantments, not the current board. Alright, so I need to have the Guardian of Faith ready to protect my Barrowin. So I think we just Dawnbringer Cleric to gain life, because there's no enchantments to destroy. And exiling a card from the graveyard doesn't help me. Oh, I can't. Never mind. Don't even have my Venture complete. Don't even have a creature in the grave to pull out with the Venture. Oh, they just equipped the Longbow. So I have to double... they equip the Longbow, I have to double block, and then when they combat trick, I Guardian of Faith to protect my characters. And even then, they're still venturing. They're still getting the way out in front. I just have to deal with it. And I don't like that. 3 cards in hand. It's kind of funny. I always feel like they get more cards than me, and then I'm still, like, drawing through my deck faster. Always feels weird. So yeah. My guess is they're equipping the Langer's Longbow and it... oh, if they do that, they can't Spike Pit Trap. So they should attack, see the block, and then in response Spike Pit Trap, and then Iron in response Guardian of Faith. There we are. Alright. So now they venture. Probably just scrying again. That's my guess. Yep. Because Lost My Fendelver is just the best one. This is a trade I can't accept. And when they Spike Pit Trap to say, no, I'm winning this trade, I get a Guardian of Faith and nullify their Spike Pit Trap. Alright. I can then put a ++1 counter on Guardian of Faith, which will allow me to attack in with it. And then I have your Ambush on the Road ready. I like that a lot. Some +1 counter on the Guardian of Faith. Now I can attack in with it. I'll take this trade as well if you offer it. I think I found a way back in. And that feels good. Alright. So I'm okay using Ambush on the Road to... Okay. I have a few options with your Ambush on the Road. I have a few options with the Ambush on the Road. Oof. I also have Warlock class coming in soon. Yeah, if I draw a land, I could actually attack with the 4-3 and the 4-4, and if they just let it through, I Warlock class and win the game. Compel, duel, turn that into a +3/+3. Alright. 7/7. Alright, 4, 5. Yeah, not enough. So I'm just gonna play one red goblin. I think. Yep, I think I'm just gonna block with a 1/1 red goblin. Because why not? The thing doesn't have trample. So we just move in. That's a 4/4 again. Alright. Here's the question. Do I make it bigger so that it stays in play? Or do I return to hand so I can venture? I'm going to make it bigger because I have the rope for venturing. Yep. So now they get their treasure token, but I'm still in play. Alright. So I have no creatures in here to bring back. So I'm just going to attack with both. And if they're foolish enough to let it through, I'm going to play the Plains Warlock class and win the game off of this. But they'd have to let both through, which I don't think they will. But yeah, Spike Pit Trap is really good, by the way. That's a trade I can accept. That is a trade I very much can accept. They took 8 damage. I can just Warlock class, level up Warlock class, bring them to 2. Okay. Just a sec. Let me gameplay. I do not have auto order trigger abilities on. Perfect. Alright. First. Yep, I like that. So now they're at 2. So I attack, and if anything dies on my turn, the double trigger kills them. Even if they destroy that, I still have 1 trigger to... I have 4 mana draw card, just saying here. So that's also effective. So we have... So that was like low board pressure, but high high victory win condition pressure, basically. They're gonna have to dark pool. They're gonna have to dark pool just to gain a life to get themselves out of range. Where just attacking with my 4/3 is enough to kill, because if anything dies, basically if a creature dies during my turn, they lose the game from 2 health. Warlock class, just 7 mana Lava Axe. good enough. Good enough. Whew. And yeah, obviously they were correct not to take that hit. And, like, chump trading was also not really an option they had. But yeah, it turns out my combat tricks were just good enough. Alright, we have a Horde Robber. Then we get hear something on watch if we want to do a combat trick. Yeah, we have a Horde Robber and we have combat tricks. Okay? Like, we don't need much more. Alright. Shambling Ghast does not effectively block Horde Robber, which is fantastic for me. And if they give me my treasure, I get an early barrel win. Yeah, I'm attacking in. Give me my treasure. Alright, great. I get a free trade. You create a treasure token. Good for you. But it costs you a card. It costs you a card to create that treasure token. I see. Alright, great thing I heard that on watch. Grim Wanderers are pretty loud. It doesn't have proficiency in stealth, it seems. That was actually a good play on their part, as far as I can tell. The only thing I can think of is Bull Strength is a combat trick, and that only gives it +2/+2. Compelled Duelist Sorcery Speed, which is why it's bad. Like, yeah. Clattering Skeletons. Alright. I don't think I could attack Clattering Skeletons. Play my Barrowin. Ranger's Hawk can start venturing, but I don't think that's where I want to be right now. I'll let them get through the first time, and then I'll start, and then because next time I hold up Feign Death, so you can deal 4 damage this time. I'm gonna start by attacking. Because this is a race that we kind of tie in, and I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm going to place a Poltergal first. So what I could do is I could block, Feign Death Barrowin, sacrifice Barrowin, and then, or I could just take 4 and deal 6 in the backswing while still applying pressure. Owlbear. That's a good one for them. Here we go. So I'm okay, yeah, sacrificing Barrowin to buff my Sepulture while gain a card from Feign Death. Alright, so I'm going to start with that. Alright, good on their part. So, let's see. If I repel down, I'm reliant on using the treasure to use Guardian of Faith. If I venture, I get a 1/1 Goblin, and then I have a Feign Death still available. So I can actually double block with Barrowin and the Goblin. There we go. If they only attack with Clattering Skeletons, I'm okay blocking and Feign Deathing now. I have a few options. I appreciate all of them. Alright. I'm gonna just make this survive now instead of later. Alright, so we take 6 damage, which is definitely bad for us, but we have other benefits still. This will come into play with a +1/+1 counter on if we want. Alright, so they got 2 lands. Yeah, I could turn Barrowin into a... yeah, 5/5. Which is actually good for me, because now I can sack Horde Robber to turn Sepulture, back swing hard. Yeah, I'm going to start by venturing, drawing a card. I've now completed a dungeon. Okay. So I like this play. So I have no creatures in my grave yet. But now I play Dawnbringer Cleric, sacrifice Dawnbringer Cleric to Sepulture Gal, attack for 9, and I get Dawnbringer Cleric back. I'm gaining a bunch of health in the process. Gain 2 life. Gain 2 life. Ooh. So now they can trade their Owlbear for the Sepulture Gal, or can allow themselves to go down to 5. Which is great for me either way. Block there. And let's see, they have to double plus Bull Strength to kill me with Owlbear. I'm gonna play assuming they don't have it. Like, very unlikely. Alright. That's good for them. It's also pretty good for them. Alright. That's their board. Alright, I think I like this. So I can Priest of Ancient Lore, gain a life, draw a card. I can then sacrifice a Sepulture Gal, so when I attack, I gain a life, draw a card again, and then I can Guardian of Faith on the swing back. Or, let's see, I can 50-foot rope, tap down the Owlbear. 5, they'd have to quadruple block to kill Barrowin. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep down the Clattering Skeletons and just leave this board state, because I think this board state's a positive for me. They upgrade the Null Hunter, I block. Okay, it's no longer a positive for me. I'm trying to think, do I have a way through there? On the question of the day, was it referring to tabletop games like D&D? I'm actually talking about personality, because all the idea of tabletop games is to represent real life. So I'm using D&D terms to help me represent a real theme. That was the intent of that. All right. Destroy that. Alright. They're at 10 health, so attacking with Barrowin, getting a Dawnbringer Cleric doesn't really seem that good. Sacking with Sepulture, gain another card draw? But then I leave myself pretty unguarded. So I'm between tying up the skeleton and just ending my turn. So yeah, if you want to answer in D&D terms, I'm perfectly happy with that, but the intent was like in real life terms. Another Herd Gorger, great. That's really bad for me. because I used all last turn to stop that. And so I don't have one this one. So in D&D you want charisma, but in real life you'd want intelligence. Or, oh, intelligence is better, is what you're saying. Okay. Let's see. So I could use the Feign Death. Ooh, I like this. So this becomes an 8/8. Basically has to be blocked. I'm gaining life, so I'm not even like in a bad spot. And I have a Feign Death ready if they want triple block in some way. This is my kill for the Hill Giant Herd Gorger. If they decide to chum back block, I can like do some trades. I can sacrifice the Priest of Ancient Lore to increase Sepulchre Gal, use the Feign Death to make it even bigger, to bring this back, gaining a life and drawing a card. But yeah, wow, they just took it. That impresses me. That is legitimately impressive to me. Alright, so now I'm assuming they're going to do a heavy swing back. Oh, just those two? There we go. There's the heavy swing back I was expecting. Alright, hold up. I think I Feign Death here, make the Sepulchre Beguile big, and then I start declaring blocks. Oh wait, cancel. Okay, so here's the idea. So now I can block here. That thing doesn't have trample. Block here, gain ready to kill it. And I would take 7, which is unacceptable. I then have to block here. I'll block here as a security. Now if they have trample, they have other things. Alright, so then from here, I then sacrifice the Priest of the Ancient Lore. Make this into a 4/3 so it can kill the Owlbear. And it comes back into play, gaining me a life and drawing me a card. Alright. I can now attack with Barrowin, re-equip the plate armor. See, this is a 5/5. I can just attack with Barrowin, equip it to Priest of Ancient Lore, attack with both. No. I want to be a little protective here. What do I want to bring back? The Sepulchre Gal or the Dawnbringer Cleric? I think it's going to be the Ghoul here. Because the Ghoul still has all that sack threats that can pull off. Alright, another chump trade. And I think I re-equipped the plate armor to the Horde Robber to make it very hard for them to get anything done. Alright. So this block here, this block here, this block here. Or I can go this block. Ooh. So if they attack with all, I'm actually in a good spot. Oof. So let's see, if I re-equip 1, 2, 3, so I have, hold up, I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I cannot equip this multiple times and get around. Five, 6, so they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage if I try to do something tricky. I'm gonna just attack with a Horde Robber, see how they respond. They could let us through. That means Warlock class is a pretty good win condition. Alright, so they quadruple block, so that's 4, 5, 6. That's enough to kill, but I can kill their Knoll Hunter on the way. And I am happy with this trade. Take out their Knoll Hunter, I lose my Horde Robber, but I have much better threats than Horde Robber right now. This will end up being a 5/4. This will end up being much more threatening. There we are. So they need to draw some Warherd Gorgers or something like that. Don't know where my cat went, but I should make sure she's okay. I'm assuming they made a noise. Alright. You take care of your cat. You take care of your little kitty. So let's see, that's 6 damage total. So I'm actually... And I could bring back the Dawnbringer Cleric. I think this is lethal. Alright. So I think this is 3 ways to lethal. Yep. Spoils of the Hunt. This deals how much damage? It's just 7 damage, correct? So I turn it into a 6/8, and I don't lose to that. I think that's their one combat trick. The other card's just a land or something. They have to have another combat trick. I have to assume that I win the game off of this attack, by the way. There is no point in me not playing as if I won. Alright. And that's a positive for me. That's a win. Awesome. So even though we don't have kill spells, we have enough combat tricks that we basically have kill spells. Diamond rank, everyone! We actually made it to Diamond in time. Today's the 30th. I believe the season ends at the end of each month. So that's actually really good for us. And we're at 3 wins with this. That's nice. That's nice. Whew. Good run going good. Could find it, but he should be fine because all the doors have been closed since I last saw him. Alright. Alright. That's good. At least that's good. Alright. We have Ranger's Hawk into Delver's Torch, into Plate Armor for a 2-mana equip, into Grim Bounty. So while we do need to draw more lands, we have plays to get us to the lands. To be clear, Ranger's Hawk is not a very good play, but Ranger's Hawk with a Delver's Torch might actually be an okay play. Because, yeah, I can equip the Delver's Torch, and then I have a 2/2 flyer that ventures out. I basically have a turn 3 planar ally. And planar ally is a win condition. Very slow win condition, but a win condition. So I have 3 draws out of land for that, and I've already made it. Alright. I'd assume he just slept in a weird spot. Okay. Entirely possible, and I'm good banking on that. Alright, Pixie Guide. I think I'm sticking with that all-in play. Pixie Guide is not aggressive. I'd love to take it slow. If they leave their mana up, I don't want to equip Delver's Torch into a Sign of Stygia or something like that. So I might not play into that. But if they play like a 3-drop, I'm happy equipping Delver's Torch and swinging in. Oof. That makes it really hard. Let's see. If they bounce, how devastating is that for me? I play Swamp, I play the Ranger's Hawk, I do it again. And if it's Sign of Stygia and they get a bad tap, then I'm in good spots. Spoils of the Hunt. Well done. Well, they use a kill spell on a Ranger Hawk, okay? Like, I think I can accept that. I think that's an acceptable response. Next turn, I could Swamp Grim Bounty if I draw another land. Yeah, I could swap Grim Bounty, their Displacer Beast, and if I draw another land, I get to Plate Armor, or Sepulture Goal, and then... Or yeah, actually using the treasure, I can just White Dragon immediately. Plate Armor, equip, attack with a 7/7 warded White Dragon. Like, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good. Otherwise, I can spend the treasure on Zombie Ogre. I would really like a land, please. I always feels good when they have the Pixie Guide rolls and they still get below 10. But seeing it here just shows me how often that occurs for everyone, because I've always had those. All right, this is a big decision point, everyone. This is a big decision point. If I play Zombie Ogre, I have established a very big threat, but I've also made it so that I can't play White Dragon if I get a land. I think the Ginny Windseeker getting knocked down is a great way to win this game. If I don't draw a land for a few more turns, then the Sepulchre Gal just does not make up for the loss of the Zombie Ogre. I have not played enough threats for them to really Charmed Sleep anything. I think I just Sepulchre Gal. And then next turn I could Torch and basically force them to respond. Or if I draw a land, I could White Dragon or Ogre. Like, I have a few options. This is not a good spot. By no means is this a good spot. But it's a spot. Yep. That tells me they actually have another kill spell for the Sepulture, so they want me to equip it and then have my Sepulture die. Or get Charmed Sleep or something like that. Close enough. Two is not enough to play a counterspell. Every counterspell in this format is 3. There we go. This is what I was looking for. We'll just tap you down. Might as well attack for 2. Alright. Next turn I could plate Ogre. I could plate Armor, equip. Charmed Sleep there. Fair enough. Or I could Zombie Ogre attack and know that I could attack knowing I could sack the White Dragon to buff my Sepulture, and then Zombie Ogre. But I definitely need to find something to do. Yeah, it's just like, this is the problem with equipment. They're so expensive, it's hard to play. If I draw more lands, okay, if I go Zombie Ogre, scry for a land, then on another one, Venture, I could ambush on the road to bring my White Dragon back. So I think the play is just Zombie Ogre and chill. Because, yeah, if I ambush on the road, I still need to get Horde Robber to hit. I could Horde Robber plate armor, but that also seems like... I'm going to attack with Sepulchre Goal first. I'm alright with the trade with the Arcane Investigator. Because Zombie Ogre then scries on the trade. Alright. So, if they have another Charmed Sleep, I think that's game. I think I just didn't get the... I missed on a land drop. They got their tempo. I did not. And I'm okay with that. So if they sack that on my turn, which is probably what they'd be planning to do, I actually gain an advantage. Yep, they're threatening lethal on a backswing, on a crackback. So I actually have to get a land and start actually gain some pressure in. Okay, I have the solution. On their turn, I could Feign Death my White Dragon, sacrifice it to Sepulchre Goal, and get back in this game. The White Dragon comes to play, tapped as a 5/5. I tap down the Ginny Windseeker. I'm going to put an upkeep stop on them. I actually can't attack here, so... Yeah, I think the plate armor and then just end the turn, do the trick, and I have a Your Ambush on the road ready. Might have wanted to play Horde Robber here instead, but this is okay. Is that a counterspell? Is it a counterspell? It is a counterspell. Okay, I think I'm dead because of that. It had to be a counterspell for that victory for them. So I might just have to ambush on the road my white dragon and pray I draw a land to keep my board alive. Keep myself alive. Which is a very bad spot to be. Because yeah, attack with all brings me to 1. This just brings me to 2. Alright. It had to be a counterspell though. So I have to white dragon, return to my hand, and get a flyer for this Windseer Pixie Guide combo. So I have to draw a land here. If I don't draw a land, I lose. Alright. Back in this game. At least for a little while. And assuming they just drew a land or some other unplayable. Because if they have a playable, I'm dead in the water once more. They were holding up the Neverwinter Dryad sack, that's my guess. And there's no reason for them to make that sack. They had second Charm Sleep. Alright. Game's not over unless they realize they can attack with all, and I can't stop the Neverwinter Dryad. They realized. Darn it. I'm not going to bother blocking, just waste time. Or, let's see, yeah, I still died to that. Yep, just got the removal. Counterspell. That counterspell was clutch on their part. That counterspell was clutch on their part. By the way, the Feigned Deaths have been alright. I mean, they had to... They felt the need to have to stop counter a Feigned Death, which feels pretty good for me. Yeah, I think Feigned Death is okay, but as you saw there, like, white and blue, their removals are enchantments. Alright, I have Sepulture Gal into Dancing Sword Equip. That, I think, is good enough as is. Get myself a 4-2 to swing in with. And if they block it, I get a 2-1 flyer, so I'm not even mad. Alright. So let's see. What do I need to worry about? They're red, so they could be aggressive, but we have a very aggressive start to counter. Genius Smith. Alright. So they get an artifact, perhaps from their deck, so they might draw a card with this. Their pause tells me they actually got 2 artifacts that they hit, and they're trying to decide which one to take. I can then Dancing Sword Equip. That gives me a 4-2. I swing in. I'm not bothering blocking. Oh, they missed. They just were pausing for a very long time for some reason. Yep. My pressure is faster than yours, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it. Get your health total low so I can actually take advantage of it. I'd love to draw a land here. Artifact Destruction. Cloister Gargoyle. Okay. I was gonna say it's... Oh, they're just ordering their triggers right now. Okay. So if I attack with a 4-2... Whoa. That is shocking to say the least. Alright. Do I want Combat Trick to kill the Ingenious Smith? I have no other plays this turn if I do. Alright, so I'm letting that go. The question is, do I want the Dancing Sword to become a 2-1 flyer? Or do I want to equip it to Barrowin? I'm going to decline for now. I'm going to play Barrowin. And I actually want a plane specifically here, but I'll take a Swamp. Neither. They might have a Minimus Containment, which would wreck that, but then I could Zombie Ogre and do stuff like that. Alright, so now they're trying to counter pressure me. Start by attacking. I'm going to leave up your ambush on the road. I'm going to just play the 50 feet of rope and end my turn. I'm not going to play the Delver's Torch right now. Like, what can they be pausing for? Oh, they have your ambush on the road themselves. That's what it is. Oh, but they're going to have Faraday's Fireball next turn, so I'm going to end my turn here. Not worth... Like, Delver's Torch is not good enough to justify allowing myself to play into a trick like that. I could just leave Flame Skull tapped down if I really want to. Ooh, there we go. So do I make it a 6-5? And so here's the question. Do I make it a 6-5 and attack in? No, no, no. I think we just talked about this. Double block. Good. Now they just lose both Armory Veterans. And the only thing I can think of them playing is your Ambush on the Road, which they just lose one Armory Veteran. So it's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1, or it's a 3, or it's a 2-for-1. Yeah. This is always a 2-for-1. The only thing they can think of is another Your Ambush on the Road, which doesn't kill. Just keeps them alive. Alright. So do I Venture, or do I Delver's Torch? Or do I just tap down the Flame Skull? I think we're winning the pressure game, so, I can leave the Flame Skull tapped down. 1/1 Goblin, next is a +1/+1 counter. This is actually really tough for me. I think I actually create a treasure token because the -4, -0 will prevent any counter pressure on their part, as well as allow me a more viable means to play the Zombie Ogre. The fact that Flame Skull can't block just means that their attacks are pretty, like, they have to keep attacking, and their attacks aren't good. If they venture to force me to discard a card, I'm happy discarding Delver's Torch. I'm also just happy losing 2 life. Alright. I think I'm going to get some sleep now. See ya. Alright, bye. Alright. I think I'm attacking into that and allowing the trade, and then I'm playing Zombie Ogre to re-equip the Dancing Sword too. Because I think Ruinor is threatening enough to justify that trade. Alright. Now my Zombie Ogre triggers, giving me the... having me tap down the Ruinor, basically. I'm gonna play the Delver's Torch. And I'm going to give Runor -4/-0, so... Alright. So I can tap 4 Venture, tap 3 Equip, and I get Sepulchre Gull. That is very aggressive, but it also, can win me games. So it's just the question of how aggressive I want to be. I am getting low on health, so... Okay, here's my play. Equip here. I could turn into a 6/7 if I... No, I'm gonna draw a card. So I'm gonna attack here. Venture, draw a card. If I played the land, I actually could have done that trick, but... Alright, they're doing trades. That's very good for me. Alright. I don't think I want to bother tapping that down. If I discard this, it actually allows me to use it with Barrowin later. I really just need to make sure Brenwar doesn't kill me. Scry again. That's perfect here. That's actually perfect here. I'm okay with this trade. I could actually block and then Guardian of Faith. Or... Ooh, that's tough on me. That's tough on me. Alright, they're starting to threaten lethal thanks to Cave of the Frost Dragon. I think I just play Guardian of Faith and so I could start swinging in. Yep. Here's something on watch. It's going to be good, along with 50 feet of rope. Alright, I think I just attack with all. I get Sepulchre Gull off of the Barrowin. Zombie Ogre gives me Ventures. Like, we're going to be good. Zombie Ogre gives me a 1/1 Goblin for blocking, and Barrowin gives me a Sepulchre Gold. Okay, so they block there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. I can actually hear something on watch to give my creatures +1/+1, and then 50 feet of rope to make them lose 1 life and I gain 1 life. So if this is their blocks, I hear something on watch, deal the damage. Because I force them to make blocks here, and that's the cool part. Then I could hear something on otherwise I could hear on something on watch the Frost Dragon. 5, 6, 7. I think that's a safer play. It allows me to play around any life gain they might have. What life gain spells are in this format? Because the only one I can think of is Potion of Healing. Faraday's Fireball is a spell they might have. So I think I actually should play a little safe. So I'm going to just attack this turn. I win next turn. Like, just let time go on. But even if they have a combat trick, I tap this down, I survive, and I kill them next turn. Go. Yep. Like, I can play around tricks, but the longer I play around tricks, the more opportunities I give them to get said tricks. Like, the longer I play around tricks, the more time I give them to make comebacks. So, there's certain points where you just have to commit and just say, don't play around the trick. If the trick is not reasonable to play around, then don't, is my general rule. Alright. I have a dancing sword, and I have, you hear something on watch, and then I have some good combat tricks. Once I get a creature, the creature's gonna stay safe. And also, I hate mulliganing in limited. Because in limited, that one card is sometimes all that matters. Alright. Well, we have our lands basically taken care of. If I draw a 2-drop, I could play it and equip it. I am not using Here's Something on Watch on a 1/1, in case anyone's wondering. I will use it on a Soul Knife Spy if they play that later, this turn. Alright, I'm using it on Gatherlights. Unfortunately, that means they're going to draw a card beforehand. Sucks to be me. They had a turn 3 Growlithe. I didn't get my cards in time. Alright. Karius drop. Get this. And Venture. I'm looking for a creature. It's a creature. I'm not going to complain right now. Horde Robber, equip it. I have a 3/4 basically that they have to block. And then I hold up a You Hear Something on Watch for the Ginny Windseer. Alright. And if they kill it somehow, I could feign death, or I could just equip the Dancing Sword. So I have a few options. Alright. They definitely have card advantage. They definitely have card advantage here. But I think, pressure-wise, surprisingly, I'm pretty close to on par. That was not something I expected with how poor that went. Alright, so they're tapping down my Horde Robber so they can get in. Roll low. Okay, that's fine. I'll kill the Ginny Windseer. Because it seems like they're low to the ground height. Do I kill the Shambling Guest instead? Let's see, how threatening is Venturing? We are about to become equal in card advantage, so I'm going to say that the Shambling Guest is actually a threat here. Alright, because that is the weaker creature, but that is the 2/1. So that's why that was played as was. Alright. I mean, yes, I could ambush on the road, return this to my hand, play it again, but I think I'd rather just take 2 damage from Sign of Stygia. The Wind Robber is definitely an issue, but it's like both of them had flying. I couldn't deal with either. I kind of wish I could have killed my Horde Robber so the Dancing Sword could have come into play as a 2/1. I'll equip that later. Well, we're dead next turn. Unless we could do something to let our Zombie Ogre die. Well, double Aircool Elemental, bouncing back our hand. We did not have responses. Yep. Okay. This is one of those games I don't think I could have won, so I'm okay with this. Going as poorly as it did. I mean, they have, like, I could have held up, but there is no cards in this format that would stop them from attacking. There are 0 cards in this format. Maybe I should have stayed just so people can watch. There is the possibility of them disconnecting, technically. But I also think, like, there's a certain point where your time is a resource in and of itself. So, I don't exactly want to sit around, watch them diddle-daddle before killing me. One, there was no way I could come back. Alright, 50-foot rope into Horde Robber. and then a single Plains gets me into Priest of Ancient Lore. And if I don't get the Plains, the Horde Robber might get me into Priest of Ancient Lore anyways. Ugh. That's good for them. But I'm happy to block that with the Priest of Ancient Lore specifically. How do I feel about blocking it with my Horde Robber? They are spending their turn equipping. They get a single treasure token. I kill a 1/1. No, I'd rather have the treasure token. Yeah, I don't want to play the Ranger Hawk because then the Shamagats kills both. This one I'll block. They're at 2 lands, so they need that treasure to play a card here. They went first. Yeah, they're at 2 lands. I'm pretty sure they went first. Yeah. They went first, and they're stuck at 2 lands, so the treasure token's actually very valuable for them. I see. This is not worth pumping for. This I'm just doing to threaten them. And then I just play the Zombie Ogre. They're still stuck on lands. But that's scary, because that means once they start getting lands, they're going to be the pressure giver by a long shot. So I have to get to a position where they're out of lands, basically. So I'm probably going to have to use you hear something on watch on this guy. Or, you know what? I can just Grim Bounty this. That will get me an adventure. And I mean, what else am my other plays kind of suck. I could do this, attack with both, sacrifice the treasure to Grim Bounty. I think I do spend the treasure. I do think I spend a treasure token to play Ranger's Hawk because that just adds 1 more damage of pressure. I'm not sure I want to land right now. Because their land are ruined, I think just getting pressure instead of lands is more important. I have treasure tokens to help me with that as well, so. I also have a you hear something on watch as a pump. If they play another creature. Let's see how this fares. They do have the card advantage. They did get their mountain. So they're going to have some stuff. Alright. They destroy an artifact, that's okay. Yep. If you have rope, with how little pressure they had, I think that's okay. They block the 1/3. I am going to, you hear something on the road, to just get rid of that thing now. And it also ventures for me. Awesome. I now have an ambush and a Dawnbringer Cleric. They only have 3 mana. They spent their time destroying my rope instead of creating a treasure for more value on their side. My Ranger's Hawk is allowing me to see, next is put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Alright. So I could oh, I should have equipped Delver's Torch. Alright. I mean, if I leave this on tap, I feel like I have to tap it to venture. Finish my ventures. I'm not blocking with Horde Robber, so I'm actually going to tap here. Put on the Ranger's Hawk. Yep. End my turn here. They equip the Talisman, then that actually means very low tempo for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With Delver's Torch, I actually have lethal next turn. If they just equip the Talisman and end their turn, I have lethal. That feels kind of amazing. Oh wait, 11. Let me recalculate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, the 11th comes from Delver's Torch. Okay. Alright. Made it. Exact lethal. Ooh. And by the way, he had a lethal in the back swing if he pulled it off. The opponent actually put themselves back in a good spot, which is impressive in its own way. Whew. 5-2. So I just need 2 more wins, and I get maxed out again. Zombie Ogres are nice. Zombie Ogres are nice. The Delver's Torch is probably the weakest card in this deck right now, but even then, it's a good enough card a lot of the times. Alright, opponent goes first. I have Warlock class use the Warlock class to get myself a Plains, to Dancing Sword, into a Grim Bounty later. This is actually a bad hand now that I'm looking at it again, because my only creature is White Dragon. But yeah, the Warlock class is going to have to get me a Plains. Which does mean instead of like 3 draws out of plane, I have like 7 draws out of plane, and I am now in a very bad spot. I have to do this looking for a creature instead. Ugh. Not until turn 4. But I take it. It is the pick nonetheless. Now they're going to ramp out heavily, and I have to hope that they commit all of their treasure and such into a big creature that I can Grim Bounty. If they spread wide like they are now, it's very bad for me. Alright. Next turn I can decide whether I want to Barrowin or Grim Bounty, depending on what they play. They chose green. Okay. Yep, that's probably the play. I do recognize that as a good play. They deal 5 damage, and they get a treasure token, which means they definitely have the value they need. If they play a big creature here, I can Grim Bounty it. If they don't, which they didn't, I instead barrel in, and I venture for a scry. They are low on cards, though. That's my one advantage. They're low on cards. I actually need lands now. Oh, how the time changes. They don't have much pressure, and I do have a kill spell for their first big creature, but the thing is, they have pressure. And this is where their Grim Bounty's for. Oh, thank God. Yep, they should sacrifice the old Gnawbone to prevent me from getting the treasure. Ugh. Land, Zombie Ogre, hopefully puts me back in this game. They do have the ramp they need, but hopefully they just are stuck with just 1,000 lands and no card draw. Because, yeah, they have enough to play whatever they want. That treasure destruction actually is preventing me from... I'm going to play this. I'm going to actually leave up my mana for a Feigned Death. So I'm going to block the Sepulture Goal if they attack with it. Let them sacrifice to pump theirs up. Then I'm going to Feigned Death mine to get myself a 3-2. I have to make this trade, I feel. If I could get a land, I can also have a Zombie Ogre, and then we just are kind of in a stalemate. Except in this stalemate, I have far more lands. Oh God. If I treasure token, I can actually get the Zombie Ogre. But I think I do this to actually prevent the Zombie Ogre from attacking easily. The Giant Herd Gorger. Good for them. Alright. If they attack with Hill Giant Herd Gorger, I can chump with the Goblin. If I play Zombie Ogre, I can basically triple block, and I win the trade just slightly. I have a second Zombie Ogre to back it up, so I'm okay with that. Let them organize it. Alright. Alright, so I keep the Sepulture Goal. They are venturing, and that sucks for me, but I have another Zombie Ogre, so I have that at least. Ooh, ring games are tough today. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised. Alright. Start making my way back, slowly but surely. Green, black. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're turning that into a venture. That was smart. That was smart on their part. I'm gonna leave the White Dragon up. I'm okay trading the White Dragon for the Clattering Skeleton. I could trade the Sepulture Goal for the Clattering Skeletons, actually. Attack with all. Alright. This dirtles. This trades. I think I actually double block here to kill it. Yeah, I like that. They do kill the white dragon, but I have the zombie ogre, and they don't get to continue venturing. Yeah, even if they use their shambling ghast, if they somehow sack the shambling ghast, they're still not putting themselves in advantage. Oof. Spoils of the Hunt did help them a lot. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that it did that as well. Okay, they actually buffed it up with treasures, so we lost that trade 15 times over. Alright, so we're dead on board, I'm pretty sure. Yep, if they go into Tomb of Annihilation, we're dead on board. Thanks, land. Thanks, land. I mean, we had to do that block. We're low on health. We didn't draw our 5th land. Yep. I still think that was the correct play. I still think that was the correct play. Like, we lost every creature in the process either way, and other ways just kept us dead on board next turn anyways. So we got 5 wins. Definitely the lack of removal hurt. The lack of getting to my 5 drops, like, the fact that I kept getting zombie ogres, and they didn't make it through, like, I never got to play them, also hurt. The Gloomstalker did nothing, never got to see it in play, never got to see it in action. Ranger's Hawk was okay, I think 1 was good. I have a full playset of them. I probably should have pulled out the Delver's Torch just to put in, like, another Ranger's Hawk or a Half-Elf Monk. Yeah, I should have put in the Half-Elf Monk at the price of the Delver's Torch. That probably would have helped a lot. The 50 feet of rope seemed fine. Yeah. Feign Death seemed like a good enough combat trick. It's not a, like, amazing combat trick, but it's a combat trick that can see play, that can do its job. At least I reached Diamond. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. By no means was this a bad draft. It just, like, I played it the best I could, and the losses were places I don't like them being. I could have built a slightly better deck. I could have leveraged a few things. I could have gone for treasures and zombie ogres earlier. That definitely is a thing I could have done. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Alright. Mindful Line just doing some runs in the background. But yeah, glad to have you here, man. Alright. Since we have this mastery token, let's just really quick grab the old Nodbone sleeve. So all that we have left is the final sleeve. So yeah, I don't really care about the card arts, but like they've been adding these sleeves, and these sleeves are pretty awesome to look at. So I've actually had a reason to use my mastery orbs. That's always nice. Ebondeath's great. Inferno of the Star Mounts is great. And then it's just like from there, it's like, hey, we'll get the ones that are there. They might have themes later. Nonetheless, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Alright, let's raid someone. I know we're ending late. We're ending early, but I do like this. I do want to do this sort of thing. Jim Davis is doing some Bronze to Mythic. Okay, so we could just show more drafting. This time you guys can see it with a professional. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh, that's going to be great. So yeah, if you guys have stayed around for the draft and enjoyed it, here we can now do it with a professional. Oof. I'm going to just close some things up over here. I'm just waiting for... So here's the thing. I have to wait for the commercial on my side, so I have to... Alright, let's go. Let's go over to Jim Davis.